What was the transition like for you? Was it as immediate you went into it in full steam ahead, or was there a drop off and you had to like just put your hands to the plow and just work at it?
So I would say I feel like I dipped my toes in with the fashion business. Like I wasn't like it's going to be a VP or the fashion business. I was like it's going to be this and this. Like this is a passion project for me. It was almost my way of convincing myself it was okay to do this. So it was
I
like,
got
oh,
you.
this is like my side hustle, I would say. And so for me, I feel like I got my training wheels on doing that, maybe is how I would say it, and kind of got to feel what it would like to be an entrepreneur because having come from working for companies my whole life, I had never been exposed truly to entrepreneurs and just, the different things that they wanted to talk about and the businesses that they were building and the events that they were hosting. And I started to become a part of those things in that community and realize, whoa, like these are my people. Like this
Yeah.
is like really exciting stuff. And so I feel like I kind of did that for a bit while I was in corporate, but it wasn't until I sort of said earlier, like I just knew like, oh my gosh, like there's a market opportunity here. I don't think this is going to go away. Like online's never going to leave. I think this is going to be something really cool that I decided to do what I would call actually making like the real big leap. And I do and don't recommend doing the way I did it because I was like, gave my resignation letter in 2 months, like jump ship, right? Like full into it, really, did that eyes wide open, but didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest, right? Like at the beginning, it's like I knew I could figure it out. I knew how to
Yeah.
build stores. I knew what looked good online. Like I knew all of those things. And I'm like, all the business stuff, I'm just going to figure it out, right? As much as I had all that training, for me, entrepreneurship is a whole different animal. So there was like a
Yeah.
whole other set of skills I had to develop or pull on some of the experiences I had in corporate and think like, how's this going to apply now? Right. So I would say I kind of really took the big leap. And I oftentimes when people ask me about that, I'm like, you don't have to take a big leap like I did. You could take a step or a jump. It doesn't have to be that big. But for me, I just felt like if I didn't do it that way, I wasn't going to do it.
I was
And
just about to ask you that.
I wasn't going to do it. Right. Like I would talk myself out of it or I'd be like, oh, that's crazy. Right. And for years I did that, like over a glass of wine at the end of the day with friends or things like that, where I'd idealize, all these things that I could do. And then the next day I'd be like, oh, I could never do that. Right. And so
Yeah.
I think we're really quick to do that. So for me, I just knew I needed to make that leap. But I had the safety and the security to do that. Like I felt like I had built up enough to be like, I'll give myself, however much time and see what this can be. And I was pretty surprised because I had already started taking on clients. I was starting to work my way into that, right? So even though there was a lot for me to figure out, I had clients, I had people who were paying, I had some examples of my work, you know what I mean? So there were these little things that I had been doing the whole way that I think really set me up for success. So whether you just jump full in, if you can do that, or you kind of work your way into that. I don't think there's like a right or a wrong for people. I think everybody just has to know where their like risk tolerance is.